Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to what we call the Underhood Salt City Racing Show, right, Nick?
Yeah, 2-for-1 today.
2-for-1 today, everybody. Hey, thanks for tuning in. We are coming to you live from the studio, and sorry we missed a couple shows because of our wild time at Boone we had up there racing. And so, everybody, hey, thanks for calling. Thanks for calling. No callers yet. I got to get everything spit out right, Nick. It's too early yet.
It is too early.
I was up late last night racing again. So, hey, everybody, again, it's a call-in show. But it's also the Salt City Racing Show, even though we've got the Under the Hood live background up, because that's really what this show is. But we're going to combine the two shows together because we missed all those shows in while we was at Boone. So, hey, it's a call-in show, 316-462-3673. And, Nick, we need to get the lovely...
The chat line.
Chat line. Well, I need the chat line, too, but I also need... Let's see. Is it captions? Yes, there it is. And we need to get
there we go.
The phone number up. There we go. So there's the phone number to call in because we'd love to hear from you. And again, it's anything ailing your car, tires, brakes, batteries, anything you don't understand, we'd love to hear from you. Or if you want to talk about Salt City Racing and what's coming on there, we got some exciting stuff to talk about on Salt City to get you up to date since we missed. So 316-462-3673, and that comes right to the front desk. Tell the girls you want to get in on the podcast, and you get a great price package for each and every caller, not chat line, but caller. Only show I know you get paid to call in on. So,
paid.
Nick, I'm putting you on the spot.
Okay, let's go.
What's in that package, buddy?
Well, you're going to get the works package, which is an oil change, tire rotation, and a multi-point inspection. Nitrogen fill for your tires. You're going to get a BG product package, which consists of MOA and 44K. You're going to get $10 in Ford Pass rewards. And you're also going to get $10 to Mel's Diner right here in the dealership so you can get you something to eat or drink while you're here.
All right, so let's get the phones ringing, 316-462-3673. And again, double show here today with Salt City Racing and also the Underhood Live show. So, Delbert Alt, it is a great day for racing, even though we're not racing today. We'll be racing tomorrow in Hays, Kansas.
Yep.
Long drive up there. Morning, Jeremy. And Delbert is ready to go this morning. It's exactly a great day for racing. I just wish we had time to go get it done with our busy schedules. We just can't quite make it to Waukene. We could go to Waukene, but
we could. But
sorry, we're not going to make Waukene, but we are going to make Hays tomorrow afternoon. So anyway, so let's. We missed a couple of Salt City shows and stuff just strictly because we were racing at Boone. And I'm going to tell you, you dirt track lovers or who wants to go watch or who wants to go race, I challenge anybody to go to Boone.
Yes.
Anybody. I don't care what class of car you drive, because we had drivers from all different series up there in Boone. And I challenge y'all. We had a couple racers from here in Wichita that went up, Bo and Greg, and they were blown away what happens there at Boone. And I'm telling you, if you're a track promoter, if you have not been to Boone to see how it runs and what it does, that it's got to be the best well-oiled machine of running a racetrack. They ran 560 races in basically 8 days.
Yeah,
8 days. 8 days, Saturday to Saturday. So, and to keep the track as great as it was, the amount of people that are there, the cars that are there, the races, the announcers. I mean, those guys are crazy.
They're great. They're great. They have the best announcers, I think. Just so.
Yeah. So anyway. We had I'm going to call it, even though we didn't make the big show, missed it by one spot, I still think it was a success. I think we learned a lot.
I think it was too. I mean, we got our stuff rolling pretty good. I mean, our best shot to make it was our low draw day, which was our first qualifying night. And we hadn't had a lot of laps on the racetrack. So, I mean, we got close, but had a little mishap and missed it. But, got the hot rod rolling pretty good later on in the week, and
yeah, it wasn't from lack of effort. That's for sure.
No, it wasn't.
But I still challenge you. Boone's always right there around that weekend before Labor Day, and it's a fun thing to go to. It's exciting to go to, and I'm telling you, if you're a racer or you're one that loves to watch races or whatever, you need to get up there and watch that Boone race and go through that situation. I'm not talking their weekly shows are fun too, because I've been there for the weekly shows too, but I'm telling you, that Boone Super Nationals, it's just the atmosphere is so much fun. It's crazy. And to not make the show was disappointing for us, even though we missed it by one stinking spot. The last A main we ran, we finished fourth and needed to finish third to get in the show. But there's more luck, and there's a lot of quality drivers that didn't make the show.
Yeah, there was a lot of fast cars that did not make the show. But I was thinking about this, like you look at there's over 1,000 entries at the Super Nationals between all the divisions, right? So in our division, the modified division, there was 330. Let's say, I'm sorry, 230.
There's 230 cars.
So you think about, besides probably the Chili Bowl, that's probably the toughest A feature to make in racing.
I agree with you.
Just because of the amount of races, the cars that there are, and just, the position that you got to be in. I mean, it's,
Yep.
they'll run, they'll farm the racetrack, they'll run 10 heat races, and they'll farm the racetrack again. I mean, if you're not in the right, you're not in that sweet spot between farming the track, if you're not in the right heat race, it's, it's tough to make up ground. I mean, you got to run top 2 or top 3 in your heat race. And then, you'll run a 30 car A main and you've got to run 4th.
Yeah. There you go.
And it's,
so we'll continue that here. We got Jeremy on the phone. Jeremy, you're live with Under the Hood. Go ahead.
Hey guys, how are you today?
Well, honestly, I lack a little sleep, to know the truth, but that's okay. We run on adrenaline most of the time. You know what I mean? How about you? How you doing, Jeremy?
Yeah, I think I'm pretty tired this morning too.
Yeah.
Hey, I do have a question. I've been wanting to call in the last couple of weeks. So what is your guys' recommendation when it comes to like the cabin air filters? I mean, is that something that needs to be changed like every year or a couple of years? I mean, what do you guys recommend on that?
Jeremy, every condition's a little bit different on everybody driving, how many dirt roads you drive, that kind of thing, and what the conditions you're driving your car and stuff. I love a cabin air filter. It's let alone keeping the air clean coming that you breathe in the car, but it takes care of keeping that debris out of the evaporator and the heater. Of course, those can perform much better from that standpoint. I'm a big fan of saying once a year. To replacing that cabin air filter, but I'm telling you, I've seen some in 6 months because they live on a dirt road or dusty conditions or whatever. That it's probably every 6 months you need to put one of those things in there. The manufacturers have done a good job, in my opinion, of making it very easy to replace them, to get in and out of the cabin. Some of them, and why the manufacturers don't all put them in there, it drives me crazy from that part. But I get it's a cost factor to them too. But I once a year. And again, I'm a maintenance freak on steam. When the maintenance interval for me says something to change it this time, I cut it in half and do it and change it twice as often as I should. But at least once a year, Jeremy, I would be putting that in. If you're not on dusty roads or whatever, a year is perfectly fine. But again, if you go on a vacation or go on a trip or go somewhere that gets dusty and dirty and stuff like that, all that dust and dirt's going to get sucked right in, because it's almost like a vacuum when it's pulling that blower motor out of there. And I'm telling you, I've seen some. I know. I've seen some pretty nasty cabin air filters. Let's put it that way. Pulling out some of these cars.
Well, I guess that's my thing is, with those, I mean, are they pretty prone to, I guess like mold growth? I mean, I guess, is that why certain cars, if you get them, or trucks, SUV, it don't matter. If you kind of have that, I don't know, kind of like that musty smell, would that be because of the cabin air filter, I'm assuming?
Jeremy, that's part of it. But what's really happening there is when you run your AC system, and again, a lot of people don't realize too, when your AC system almost runs year round now with the frost and all that kind of stuff, but it builds that condensation, and that condensation just sets in there, and then that's where a lot of that smell comes from, because that water just gets old and mold and mildew and stuff like that too. But the cabin filter can cause it too, don't get me wrong. But a lot of times this is that water just sets in that evaporator and it can't get out of there. It doesn't dry out or whatever. And the manufacturers have done a better job of taking them evaporators and leaning them a little bit so that water will run out. And then a lot of people, the drains that come out of the bottom, the evaporator case that you see running out of there, a lot of times those plug up and it can't get the water out. That kind of stuff too. But then if it does get that bad, BG's got a great service. I mean, it's a fantastic service that you go in and you spray a foam inside that evaporator. And I'm telling you, I've seen some nasty stuff now. Nick, have you ever seen that or not? But there's some, when you do what we call an AC vent service and it goes in and cleans all that. I mean, it's almost black junk just coming out of that drain from that part if you let it get too bad or too whatever. But that's the biggest thing is, Jeremy, is that water just can't get out of there. And that water just sets in there and over the night or whatever, and it just gets old and mildew and away it goes. So.
Oh, very, very interesting. I learned some new stuff on that. So, but yeah, I appreciate your recommendation on changing cabin air filters. I think I'm kind of like with you. I think most of us really don't think about it.
Yeah, it's kind of out of sight, out of mind. Don't even think about it. I get it.
I guess really, now that I'm talking with you all this morning, I guess you should kind of think about it just like your regular house
Yeah.
HVAC system filter in a way.
You're exactly right.
Right?
Totally correct. Totally correct. Totally
Okay.
correct.
Well, I appreciate you all answering my question this morning. Hope you all have a good weekend.
Hey, you too, Jeremy. Thanks for the call.
Thanks.
Enjoy watching the show here this morning.
Hey, appreciate it, buddy.
Thank you.
Thank you, bud. All right, 316-462-3673. Let's get the phones ringing. Love to hear from you again. It's like Jeremy there's going to get a nice package valued over $130 just for that phone call. So anyway, back to Boone. Again, it's a great race, and a lot of people want to say, IMCA, I'm a USRA guy, everything else like that. Well, I challenge you, USRA guys. Zach Vanderbeek was there; he made the show, but I know I've been there a couple years, and Zach's not made the show. That's how tough that race is, and stuff like that too. So if you want to think you're a quality racer and you want to race, come to Boone. Let's see if you can get in that race.
Yep, it's a tough race to make.
Whether you think it is or not or whatever, I mean, it's a tough deal. And basically, you start off on Wednesday with of course, the modifieds. We started off Wednesday with a draw. We drew low. The next day we drew middle, and the next day we drew high. So you got 3 days to make it, and it's a tough show. It's more luck, in my opinion, to get into that show than it is because you got to have the right pill draw day, the right day. That day you got to perform. You got to have everything go right. You can't have anything happen in the heat race.
Yeah, all your stars have to align, and you have to be in the right place at the right time. And when you're in that place, because they'll put you there at least once during the week, you got to be ready. And I think it's hard when the guys that always seem to rise to the top there are guys that race there a lot. And Boone is a place that's different than anything we run around here. We can't really take any notes that we have around here and apply it to that. So when we go up there, when we run that prelude race and we learn some stuff and we try some stuff, and then we get into Wednesday, when we race and we're better, but we're still not there because we're still trying to figure out where we need to be,
Well, and that's the thing. If we would have made, let's say, because we were close to making it on Wednesday, but we had a couple of issues there that got us out of there. But Nick, I think that if we would have made it in Wednesday, because then we wouldn't have raced Thursday, Friday. If we would have went to the big race, I think we'd have been junked because we made the car so much better each day as we went through there. Our luck, we need to have that low pill draw day on Friday. Last 2 years, it's been on Wednesday.
Or Thursday, worst case.
To be able to be there, to be able to get some more laps on the cars and stuff like that too. But again, we took a different car this year than last year.
Yeah,
car performs totally different than the car we had there last year.
So none of those notes carried over either.
So hopefully that we can keep this old rig together. We're going to strip it down after the end of this year and completely go through that car and put it back out there, and then hopefully our notes and everything will transfer. And that car will be the same car we take back with our notes. Because make it happen. So anyway, Boone Super Nationals, it's fun, it's great. Brett Root and Jim Standard, they put on a great show. I talked to Jim Standard a couple times this week about after the fact what they how things went and all that kind of stuff. But if you can't get to Boone, even though it's 6 hours from here in Wichita to Boone, IMCA TV does a fantastic job. And that was announced. We sat back because we came home on after the Saturday night prelude. So Monday night and Tuesday night, me and Jake came over and we sat down and watched the stuff. Them announcers are crazy, but it's they make the show too. That part. Hey, we got another caller here, so let's get Jason on the phone, and we'll keep moving this program through. We got a lot of stuff to talk about also on our agenda today. So Jason Cox is going to call in to see what's on Jason's mind, if he's got something about Salt City Racing, or if he's got something to talk about on under there. He's got something wrong with his car. I'm gonna bet that Jason's got something going on with his car.
Okay, we'll see.
All right,
here he is.
Jason, you're live with Under the Hood. Go ahead.
Hey, good morning, guys. How are you?
Perfect. How are you, buddy?
So a couple of weeks ago, I was down there, and they put a tire pressure monitoring system sensor on my tire.
Yep.
And it's going off.
You mean it's coming on the dash? Coming on the dash, saying the light coming on the dash again? Okay.
Yeah, is that something that's in the computer system, or could it be a bad sensor?
Well, a couple things there, yeah, too. So, can you read the pressures on your dash? Because I don't remember what truck. I know you got an F-150. I can't remember what year it is, Jason.
Yeah, it's a 15.
So you can read the pressures on the dash, right?
Well, when it comes up that the sensor is at fault, it doesn't read it.
Yeah, but does the other 3 still read? Can you
Yes.
see the pressures of the other 3? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, so either one of 2 things is, it could be the computer system or whatever, it could be a faulty sensor, or sometimes I see this, that when we put a new sensor in and we program it, sometimes it takes a couple times for some crazy reason, technology and electronics, it takes a couple times to reprogram. And I'm betting that Jason, all that needs to do is just get it all resynced and reprogrammed again. And I bet it will work. Okay.
Rescan it to the truck.
So if you want to buzz it up here today and buzz over to Quickland, I know it could probably even do it right there on the service drive and get that thing.
Unfortunately, I won't have time today to do it, but I can probably do it sometime next week.
I get it, but just pull on the service drive or whatever there at Quickland, because they can grab the tool, come right there on the service drive. I can get Kelly or Colton or Mike to come up there on the service drive and try to reprogram it. I bet you money that's what happened. It just, for some reason, it just didn't quite take that first time around or whatever. And we'll resend. Okay. When we do that, we'll sync all 4 of them together. The way the tool works and the way the program works, it'll go back through all 4 of them for you.
Okay.
Well, sorry about that, but I'm telling you, I'm a
big. Make an appointment then. Just bring it.
Nah, just drive on the service drive. They can reset that thing for you, Jason. I'm a big fan of tire pressure monitoring systems. I mean, it's just like last night I went with Salina.
I am too. Trust me.
Oh yeah, went to Salina last night with a race rig, and in the center of my dash is my tire pressures on the trailer. I watched that all the way there and all the way back, because there's nothing worse than watching a tire blow up on a trailer and tear a trailer apart. So
no kidding. So, about an inconvenience, right?
Jay kind of laughed at me last night why I put that up there. I said, well, you'll see someday when you spend the money on a trailer that's like to watch that and monitor those pressures. But that is what's on my dash and that Super Duties. We're running down the highway is those trailer tires, so I can see what they're doing.
All right, well, I'll come in and get it done. I appreciate you guys.
Jason, have a great weekend, buddy.
Thank you.
You too. Bye. Thanks. Bye.
All right, 316-462-3673. Anyway, we'll get Kyler Fetters on the phone here in a little while. He's, I'm sure he had a wild night last night and stuff too. I know he wanted to join us and stuff too, but he has had I'm sure it was a very busy night out in Dodge City running those micros and stuff around. So we'll get him on the phone here in a little bit and talk about that too. So, all right, enough of Boone. What do you think? Well, I think we talked about that a lot enough and everything else like that. But I'm still telling you, anybody drives any kind of a race car, I challenge you to go to Boone and see how you can qualify for that race.
And if you're just a race fan and you've never gone, it's like a bucket list thing, because there's so many cars, there's so many people, and the racing will start at 2:00 in the afternoon and go until 2:00 in the morning sometimes. And it's just race after race after race.
That one day we hot lapped at 2:00 in the afternoon, and we didn't get on the racetrack for our heat race till 1:30 in the morning.
Yes.
And we still had to run a feature after that. So Monday morning, Bo Davis and Greg Shell came up there, and of course they came by the pits and all that kind of stuff too. And Monday morning, Bo was here on the service on the showroom, and it was like this. He just couldn't believe it, how fun it was. So
I think I took 2 naps that day.
I might have to.
But, but my favorite part about Boone, of course, is the food.
I don't know. I had enough walking tacos to last me for a while.
The walking taco, those Iowa pork tenderloins.
Oh, those pork tenderloins are crazy good.
The cheese curds.
Okay. And you're not going to throw out your favorite.
The steak sandwich, the ribeye steak sandwich.
Jordan, Jordan under the bus.
That is an icon. No, Jordan started making steak sandwiches because of the Boone steak sandwiches.
I'm sure he did, but those steak sandwiches are pretty good too.
They are pretty awesome.
So can't go wrong going to Boone. It's a fun experience. Even if you go one day, it would be fun and stuff too. So anyway, hey, let's flip over to Salt City. We got some exciting stuff. Next Friday is our next race. What are we racing next Friday? Nick, I can't even remember. Heck, we're racing.
Okay, we are racing. So it's going to be the final IMCA season points race. And so we'll have IMCA modifieds, IMCA sport mods, IMCA stock cars. We're going to run super stocks. And we're going to have the United Rebel Sprint Car Series.
And last night we was racing up at Salina. Salina is off next Friday.
They are.
Chuck did that favor for us. So anybody that's been racing at Salina, whatever, it's a short little jaunt right down to Hutchinson to come join us for the last points race.
Yep.
From that part. So thank you, Chuck, for that. And appreciate the team working together on that situation and stuff too. So
and it's BG Products night.
BG night. And they'll have a lot of fun with there. They bring a lot of people to put up on the stage for the races and stuff too. So BG Products, a great partner we have here at Mel Hamilton Ford. And again, it's a partnership. We have a lot of things we do hand in hand together with each other. They're supporting Salt City Racing and that sort of thing too. And excited for those guys to be out there and entertain them.
Great folks, just like all of our sponsors.
So anyway, we're going to have Donnie Bean from Pizza Ranch is going to help us with the food this time over there on the stage. Of course, Egbert Liquor is going to help us with some of the stuff for the other kind of beverages for BG Products and stuff. So appreciate that too. Charlie's going to do a great job of concessions. He always has. And Nick, I can't thank him enough and Carrie and his Kroll crew and how well they've taken care of us over there for the fair.
Yeah, great people. And they're amazing. You know, they make amazing food and they've got great concessions and great service for all the race fans over there and the racers with their trailer in the pits. And
added on that new
their beer garden is awesome.
Has expanded that stuff too. So
we'll be doing some more with that in the future with the beer garden over there. So had a lot of success with that during the Salt City 100. So
yeah. So anyway, September 20th, last points race.
Yep.
And here's what I'm going to tell you guys is the contract for 2025 is in their hands. I know they're not doing nothing with it because how busy they are with the fair, and I understand that too. We did do a quick Zoom call with the fair board on last Thursday while we were at the fair, while we were at Boone, to give them, and they did announce the dates that we have temporarily. I'm not going to lock in all those 100%. We know we got to move the July date for the Silver Crown and the Silver Crown. And talking to Tommy again, I just talked to Tommy on I think Wednesday or Thursday. They're excited to be back,
but it will land. It will still land on the same weekend that it was.
Yeah. So anyway, we're going to meet in October to get this contract done. And I'm just saying, fans, racers, everybody, let's make the September 20th race a big race. Let's make sure we prove to this fair board what we're doing, why we need to keep that racetrack alive in Hutchinson and not get it torn down for some other venues or whatever might be there. So racers, fans, everybody, let's pack the stands. Let's pack this thing full. So when Nick and I roll in there in October, we can say, hey, here's our numbers again. Here's where we're at. Sign this contract. Let's not negotiate anything on our contract, and let's go racing for multi-years from that part. So we need your help. We need everybody's support. We need everything positive out there on Facebook and YouTube and Instagram, everywhere you can go to build this up. But again, September 20th is our last points race. But then we got another exciting race coming.
We do, because pressure's off after September 20th. You know, it's just all fun after that.
So there's still a few people want to go out and say that they can't race out there, whatever. But I think we're going to make it to now where everybody's feasibly possible could race. It's the only thing left, in my opinion, to put people, somebody that couldn't have raced over there has been is A-Mods, the USRA guys. And we've got to race an open mod show on October the 5th. And we'll have the rules up on the on our webpage here very shortly. But basically, mod racers, 2450 weight, 8-inch rim, 8-inch tire. I don't care what tire you want to run as long as it's an 8-inch tire. Max 5-inch spoiler, 39-inch deck height after the race, and a cast iron block, aluminum head if you want to run, carbureted motor, any motor you want, size different, whatever you want to have, and let's go race.
Yep.
Okay.
I think we may have to break out the Hoosier M30s.
I thought about that.
Old school.
At
least around here anyway.
Okay, so now stock cars. We're going to throw stock cars out there too, kind of open it up a little bit too. And about the only rules we know we're going to have on the stock car: no spoiler, the 500 cubic inch.
Hang on, I can pull it up here.
Pull up the 500 CFM 2-barrel carburetor, IMCA USRA legal head.
Yep.
And 2,900. Of course, I think everybody says they weigh more than 2,900, but at least minimum 2,900 weight. What have I left out, Nick?
The 500 CFM carburetor's got to be legal, top and bottom on the gauge. Yeah, 2,900. Quick change is okay. No spoiler. 8-inch wheel, 8-inch tire. Yep.
And again, any tire you want to run.
IMCA head, steel block.
And away we go. Stock cars, there you go. Okay, B-Mods. We're going to throw B-Mods out there, too, on October the 5th. We want to talk to a couple B-Mod racers because I know there's different rules and stuff, and I'm not up to speed on everything about a B-Mod, but I want to figure out a way to make it open and make it fun for everybody, but competitive for everybody on the B-Mods from that standpoint, too. So get ready. So we're going to have A-Mod open show Stock Car Open Show and B-Mod Open Show on October the 5th. And it's just a fun race is all it's going to be. We're
Yep.
going to have fun with it. And again, it's another way to show the fair, all the different things we can do with that racetrack and stuff too. So purse, we'll announce that on Wednesday.
Yep.
Nick and I and Kyler have been working on that purse for those deals. And let me tell you, we won't disappoint you.
No,
It's
it'll
going to
be
be
good.
worth. It's going to be worth coming to race
It'll
with
be
us on
good.
October the 5th
Be able to come out, have fun, and make a little money.
and make a little money. Okay, so callers haven't been coming in. I'm going to tell Kyler a text to tell him to call in. Nick, what's the number for him to call? Well, I'm just going to give him a call on main desk and have Kyler call in. We'll find out what happened and at last night. And
see how the micro races went.
exactly. So anyway, if anybody's got any questions on the September 20th race or the October the 5th race, put them in the chat line or get on the phone, 316-462-3673. And hey, if you call in, you're going to get a great price package, about over $130 for each and every caller. So let's get the phones ringing and we'll get your questions and get that answered. We'll see if we can get Kyler patched in here in a minute, talk about what's happening there too. He wanted to go in live, but something happened with his computer and stuff, but he wanted to call in to start with. And I said, hey, let's leave the phone lines open just for a little bit to make sure, because we only can do one phone line. That's something we have to talk to Gus about. Maybe get two lines coming in here.
Yeah, I bet we could figure out how to do it.
Good IT guy to make that happen, don't you think, Nick?
Yeah, he would.
Yeah. So anyway, okay, so we'll see if we can get Kyler coming in here in just a minute. What else have we left off, Nick?
Man,
And
we've covered a lot of stuff.
yeah. Anyway, so like I said, the Fair Board does have our contract. It is in their hands, so that's good. Excited for that. Just excited we get to October, the October date of their fair meeting, that we can just walk in there and everybody going to ask a few questions, do whatever. Maybe there might be a little negotiation on that contract. I hope not, but we'll see what they say, and we can sign a contract and we can get going and rock and roll for multi-years for that part. But again, I can't stress that enough, everybody. We need to fill those grandstands on September the 20th and October the 5th. Oh, I know we need to talk about it. It's drawn on me. It's November the 16th is our banquet.
Yes.
And here's some ideas. It's going to be over there at the 1861 Club. Great partnership we have with those guys, at Brad Rail and Steve Dillon and James over there with the crew. So we'll
just leave it a half mile, Phil.
Hey, Rad, if I shorten that racetrack, guess who can't come and race with us? Them Silver Crown cars. And guess what? You know what? I kind of thought that was a pretty damn good show. So, Rad, as of right now for 2025, it is going to be a half-mile track. I can promise you that. We're not changing it. Okay, Rad? So I appreciate that very much, Rad. Hey, I've seen you. I hope you're coming to all the races and stuff. Your dad and your brother have been running with us too. I hope your brother can get his car back out there, because I love you guys racing with us too. So, Rad, thanks for the input. I agree with you 100%. We need to leave it for a half mile for right now. And down the road, I don't know. Still on the fence there a little bit, Rad, but we'll see what we got to talk to racers, got to talk to fans and get kind of a fan vote on that half mile versus, shorten it to 3/8. But I will promise you for 2025, it's going to be a half mile track, just because I want them Silver Crown cars there.
Yes. That was the most fun race of the year.
Exactly. So, anyway, looks like Kyler might be busy too, getting things ready. We'll see if we can get him patched in here in just a minute. But anyway, November 16th is our banquet at the 1861 Club there on the fairgrounds. I promise you we'll have some good food. I promise you we'll have some good rewards and some good payouts and stuff like that too. And just kind of teasers for you. Yeah, we're going to have to charge to get in, because of everything that's like any banquet does or whatever. But I got some things up my sleeve. For example, what I would like to do, Nick, and I'm going to throw this out, probably too quick or early, whatever. But if you raced every race with us in 2024, you'll get 2 free tickets to get in for free.
Yep.
If you a racer raced every race with us, you will get 2 free tickets to get into the banquet from that part. And Rad, and my dad wants it to stay a half mile. I've always wanted to race on a half mile, and I know your dad does, and I get it. And trust me, the history and everything else of that, Rad, of the half mile track, I get it. I just I think a lot of racers feel like that half mile is harder on equipment, stuff like that, and I gotta agree with you. But again, racing the IMCA car with that crate motor in there, I don't. Yeah, you're on the gas a little longer in the straightaways and that sort of thing too. But I'm not sure it's that as hard as everybody thinks it is. I think what happens is guys go think they got to put a big, giant, enormous motor in that car for that racetrack, and you really don't.
Yeah, you don't.
And they put too much stuff in it, and that's what blows the motors. Everybody blaming the racetrack that he blew a motor, or did whatever, or tranning, or whatever it might be. But again, if you really think that track through and think what you need to do with that racetrack and with your race car, gearing wise, horsepower wise, and all that kind of stuff, I'm not sure it's a big.
No.
Well, let's put it to you this way: when we ran a couple years ago over there, and we needed then the car we have now is a brand new car. And we first put a motor. We borrowed a motor from Joe Duvall, and it was a hog.
Yeah.
And it was too big. We didn't need that big a motor to run over there, and the car just didn't work well with that stuff too. So I agree with you, Rad. If for right now, though, it is going to stay a half mile. I don't want to change it for 2025. I just hope the fan vote and the racers don't vote to go the other way. But I'm still telling you, racers, it's not as hard on equipment as you think it is from that part. You just got to know how to gear the car correctly, set things up correctly, all that kind of stuff. And if you really think about it, you're only on that front, on each straightaway about another second or two when you really dive into both sides of that straightaway and stuff from that standpoint too. So anyway, Rad, I appreciate the comments. I appreciate you diving in here a little bit, but yeah, it will be a half mile track for 2025. Can't promise 26, 27, 28, but we'll see how things go and where we're at. But I want
may switch it up at some point, but we'll see.
I want those Silver Crown cars there. That was too much fun, too much things not to have those guys come back from that part. And just so you know, Silver Crown cars only race on half mile or bigger. They don't race on anything smaller than a half mile from that part too. So anyway, back to the banquet. And again, if you've raced every race with the racers, you will get 2 free tickets getting in there. And I'm telling you, it's going to be a fun time. You don't want to miss it. On November the 16th, we'll get some times light in there, but I think we'll probably open the doors at like 6 o'clock. Dinner time around 7. Award start at 8.
Something like that.
And that sort of thing. And we are going to recognize every driver that raced with us from that part. And again, if you've raced every race and been at every one of those races, you will get 2 free tickets to get into the banquet from that part. We promise you, we haven't dialed in the menu yet. I know we'll have some good food. That's one thing. All the banquets I go to and stuff like that, we'll have some good food for you to entertain you.
It's
and
not going
to
suck.
There you go. So anyway, what's next on our agenda? I think we've kind of went through everything.
Yeah, I kind of feel like we have.
And it looks like Kyler says he's on hold. Let me send the girls. Okay, sorry. I missed it. My fault. I wasn't paying attention. I missed it. Sorry, Kyler. We'll get Kyler dialed in here a minute and get him up to date on what's happened. There we go. Kyler.
Hey, how are you guys?
God, sorry, buddy. I wasn't paying attention to my phone. I was getting too excited about talking about the banquet coming up November the 16th. So sorry.
Right on.
So you're up awful early too, huh?
Well, it happens.
All right. Well, let's talk about Dodge City Raceway Park last night. How was it? What ran? What'd you do? Tell our listeners what you got, buddy.
Yeah, so we had our mini shootout, and we had our micros on the small track, and it was a good time.
Hey, tell our the listeners probably don't know what is a micro, so they kind of understand that, Kyler.
Yeah, so micro is a micro sprint car. It's an open wheel car, just like a sprint car, just a little bit smaller version of a sprint car. They run 600 cc motorcycle engines on them, so they get up and do really well. I think we had, I don't know what our total number was. We had 40 cars, maybe 50 cars.
Woo,
like that.
Good job, man.
But yeah, it was a good night. And we got a round 2 tonight. So it's a 2-day show. We had guys from Texas come up, and Arkansas, we had some Nebraska. So we had several different states around come and battle. And just a good time.
Okay, so what's the format tonight? Did you qualify last night or run heat races last night, or what's kind of happening?
No, we did 2 complete shows, and so we're going to start a whole new show tonight. We should pick up a few more cars. Racing Friday nights on a top of high school football is tough.
Tough.
So I think tonight we'll see a few more cars, especially where this is a younger
Younger crowd,
younger
right?
drivers. Yeah, younger drivers. So some of those guys had commitments with football and stuff like that. But But no, I think pick up a few more cars and hopefully some more fans. And it'll just be a good time.
All right, Kyler. So next Friday is Salt City. We kind of covered that a little bit, but then we're right back at Dodge City on the 21st.
Well, you guys are going to kill me.
No, you're made for it. We might kill him.
I'm still coming over the, what do you call that? The Boone flu.
Yeah, I got that too.
Yeah. So, I hope we don't kill you, Kyler. We'll throw some energy drinks in you or something.
There you go. So Wednesday, we'll head to Salt City and start grading the racetrack. I was at the State Fair here the other day, so caught my head over the fence and seen the track. Track's looking great. There's a little bit of washboards and stuff from the rain at the game. It looks like there's still a little bit of moisture in it. And but no, I think we're gonna have a good racetrack. We'll get it graded on Wednesday and start putting some water down, and then I'll have the guys stay here at Dodge City, do the same thing. And then they'll come Friday to help me at Salt City, and then we'll all just rush back to Dodge.
Heck yeah.
Anyway, Kyler, a lot of exciting stuff coming up for us, the 21st and then October the 5th and stuff too. And you've got your last final points race win there. Is that the last one, the 21st points race for you?
Yeah. So our championship night's on the 21st, and we'll be done. And it's always sad to have the season wind down, but I think we're all ready. I mean, it's one of those things where it's been a long summer, but it went fast.
It did go very fast.
I was just getting ready to say the same. It seemed like it just started to me, but then it's over.
Well, and that's kind of where we're at. I do a radio show every Thursday with the radio station here. We do a lowdown on the showdowns at Mount Seriously Park. And, I felt like we were just saying, hey, we just get kicked off and blah blah blah, and now we're winding down and ain't got no more shows. So it's like, where did the summer go?
I know, it's crazy, isn't it? Anyway, Kyler, some more positive stuff too. Our great partner with Murphy Tractor to give us all that great equipment and everything, both tracks. I went out there yesterday. That didn't matter. Went out there yesterday to get them their tickets for the 20th and ran into Dan, and they've got a booth over there at the fairgrounds. And Dan said he's been working the booth a couple days over and stuff. And he said that the crowd is excited about racing. He said more people have come up to him and thanked him for helping, keeping that racetrack alive and stuff like that. He said the energy is just really good there in Hutchinson at the fair about the races and stuff too. So that's exciting, when you hear stuff like that.
Well, and I've seen some pictures. I know Demo Derby, and it's not quite auto racing, but it's a form of it.
Yeah, it is.
And they had some great crowds for the Demo Derby I've seen, and I think there's a lot of hubbub. I mean, the day I was there, people were saying, "Hey, you have the track ready? It's gonna be a good race." Yeah, they know who we are and know what we're doing. So there is a good positive vibe there.
Yeah, I think so. I think so too. It's exciting. It's fun. And we just got to get this contract signed that we got to do in October. And I told him on the first of the show, Kyler, we just got to have these last two shows, pack this place full, show that fair board this is the right thing to do to keep it going. So just excited where we're headed, what we're doing.
We're going to do a fun thing here on the 21st at Dodge City. It's actually our Murphy Tractor night. To honor Murphy Tractor and everything they do for us, Terry and his crew down here at Dodge. It is a different crew than what services there in Hutch, but they're all top notch. I mean, these guys. But we're going to do $10 carloads out to the racetrack.
How about bus loads? Is that going to work? Can you get your bus running around, pick people up, Kyler, or what?
I told them if they can pile in anything that wheels into the racetrack, it'll be $10 to get them all in. So
I think what you need to do, I figured it out. You need to put your helmet on, strap in that bus, and you need to drive around Dodge City picking people up and bringing them in. I think that would be cool.
Yeah,
that would be pretty cool. And I got me a new bus, and now we have two. So bring your helmet, and we can race them on the Murphy Track Championship.
Well, maybe I should go get a helmet. You and I go race those buses.
We've got to do this.
Yeah,
we've got to do this.
Is bumping racing? I want to know.
You're in the short bus. I'm in the big bus. You can run me all you want.
Okay. Well, maybe we have to do that, Kyler. That might be some fun.
Yeah, that'd be a good time.
That would be kind of fun.
Good times.
It would be too.
Yeah.
So, But anyway,
You'll have
just
to start my bus.
do what?
You'll have to start my bus. Remember, when I'm strapped in, I can't reach the starter button.
That's no problem. I can do. I can run over, fire you up, and then I can go jump in mine.
Hey, Phil, start my bus.
So who knows what will happen at Dodge City on the 21st? So everybody get to Dodge City. Go to Hutch on the 20th and go out to Dodge City on the 21st, and there'll be some fun racing and everything else there too to keep watching and stuff from that part. Be a lot of fun for sure. So anyway, Kyler, anything else from Dodge City? Anything else you think of or whatever? Because
no, I think we're just kind of we're doing what we do and getting ready for winding season down.
yeah, exactly. So
I got the flu too. I didn't go to Boone, but I must have the dirt track flu.
it's hard. It's easy to catch, especially as much as we're at a dirt track. Okay.
Right.
From that part too. So anyway, Kyler, we talked to everybody about the schedule. We talked about that. We talked also about the banquet November the 16th. One thing I did tell everybody is if you raced every race as a racer, we will give you 2 free tickets to get in free to the banquet. And from that part, there's other exciting stuff we got up our sleeve. Lisa and I and Nick have sat down and talked. So Kyler, if you got some ideas on this banquet, we need to probably have a huddle about that too in the near future to get excited for that part too. Okay.
And I can just imagine how much Lisa's excited about doing this. It just seems like something in her wheelhouse to make this banquet fun.
It is right up her wheelhouse. You're exactly correct. And we were just talking about it yesterday before I took off and went to Salina and raced from that part. So it will be fun. You don't want to miss the banquet November the 16th at the 1861 Club on the fairgrounds. And we'll see how everything goes. But I know you don't want to miss it. I can promise you that.
It'll be good.
All right, Kyler, well, you have a great night racing. And
yeah, I appreciate that. I think the weather, it was hot yesterday. That heat kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah, it did, didn't
Kind
it?
of came out of nowhere. It was a great week all week long, and boy, howdy, it got hot yesterday. So we had to throw the water to it, and the wind picked up. But we were kind of windy out here. I don't know what Salina was like, but
wasn't too bad at all. Salina was pretty good. It really wasn't bad at all. I mean, it cooled down in the evening a little bit, and really pretty good, pretty nice up there, to be honest with you.
Yeah. No, it cooled down pretty nice after dark, but I'll tell you, it was hauling. It was 98 degrees here all day, and then the wind was blowing about 40. So hopefully we can get a little cooler temperature and not so much wind.
Yeah.
Help us out a little bit too. But if you're not doing anything tonight, come out. It is free tonight to come out to the racetrack and watch the micros. People, these are the same micros that race the shootout, and it's just it's a lot of fun. The racing is really, really good, and it's just like any other class. When it gets towards the end of the season and championships are on the line, the racing gets a lot better, and it just makes it a lot of fun. So get your butts out to Dodge City, and we'll see you at the track.
Sounds good, Kyler. Go get your track ready to go. Have some fun, and we'll see you Wednesday. Ready to get the Hutch track ready to go, and we'll be out there in Dodge City on Saturday to kick off the last points race for Dodge City.
You bet. All right, guys. Thank you.
No, thanks for calling in, buddy.
Thanks,
and go find your socks and don't get any sleep, okay?
There you go. See you,
buddy. See you, man. All right, a couple comments coming in. Ryan Green, can't wait to be back at this week. It's been an awesome year at Salt City Racing. Yeah, Ryan, thank you for that. You bet. Dennis Nelson, I think keeping that half mile is the best awesome racers on that half mile a long time and learned a lot how to set their cars up for that track. Yeah, I agree with you, Dennis. It's got to keep digging. Jeremy Kane won't make the last 2 races. Corn harvest. Yeah, Milo harvest. I said corn, but Milo along with corn and harvest. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I get it. Got to take care of. We got to have that food so we can eat there, Jeremy. Peyton Burkhart, excited. Been an exciting year. Definitely a dream year. Being able to race for points in Hutchinson. Yeah.
Yep.
Peyton, I tell you, buddy, you've done a great job over there. Thank you and your family. I mean, you guys got a lot of history with your family over there and stuff too, and done a great job racing with us and stuff too. So, Peyton, you're one of the ones going to get 2 free tickets to the banquet. So, pretty cool.
That's it.
And I'm sure your whole family will come and join you and everything else too. And the banquet November 16th. I know you'll be there on the 20th. And hopefully we can figure out a way to get you on that racetrack on October the 5th or something or whatever too, Peyton. But been fun having you and your family. I've known your family a long time. I think I met your dad and your grandpa back in '93 when I moved to Hutch. So It's been a while that I've known your family and stuff too. So great family, great group. And Peyton, again, awesome job racing with us and did a great job driving that hot rod. That's for sure.
That's it.
So anyway, that's got our comments caught up. Everything's taken care of. Nick, I think we've got everything down through our situation. So let's recap real quick. We're going to have a race next Friday, and we're racing what next Friday?
We're racing IMCA modifieds, sport mod stock cars, super stocks, and the United Rebel Sprint Car Series.
Don't miss that next Friday. And again,
Final
everybody,
points race.
we've got to get this 10 filled so we can get this contract signed in October and keep everything moving forward from that part. So the next Friday is that race.
Yep.
Then
October the 5th,
running an open
mods, stock cars, B mods.
We'll get all those
Limited
rules
rules.
posted out. We've kind of went through the rules. We're going to talk to a couple B mod racers to make sure we're making a level playing field for everybody. And stuff too from that part too. So we'll see. We'll have those posted when we come live at 6 o'clock next Wednesday. And also Wednesday, we'll have our purse up, how we're going to pay for the October 5th race. And I'm promising you racers, you're not going to want to miss it.
No.
On that part. Chris Pitts, smaller track would be better for fans and racers. Chris, I get it. There's pros and cons both ways, buddy. A lot of history there at that track. But again, if we put it to 3/8, we won't see those Silver Crown cars guys back because they only race on half or bigger tracks. But Chris, I get it, buddy. And again, thank you for racing with us. You've been he's got a win under his belt there with the super stock. So good job on that, Chris. You've run the stock car, you've run the modified and stuff, done a very, very respectable job with those cars too, Chris. And, but I tell you that thing, Chris, I really appreciate your input and the things you've done over this year so far. And I'm going to tell you, you and Dustin, just keep it coming. We got to keep growing this track and keep things moving. And I don't want that racetrack to disappear in Hutchinson. I want to keep it around for many, many years. That's been our goal from a lot of us out there to keep it happening. From that part. So, Chris, thank you. And Dustin, thank you for all the input. It's great to see the text and everything coming through all the time, and your ideas and everything else too. And we get this contract signed, we will have a lot of exciting stuff for 2025 and going forward. That's for sure. Love to tell you everything that's in that contract, but I can't do it just yet because there is some exciting stuff in there.
There is some exciting stuff.
Mike Burren, he's been racing with us too. Mike, I didn't get to follow you last night. I don't know how you did at Salina.
I think you ran third.
Did he? I don't know. I was too busy thrashing on a car last night to pay attention.
Yeah, he ran third.
Good job, Mike.
From 7th.
Third to 7th. Moved up the track and everything else like that. Good, Mike. So good job on that, running that car and from that part. So anyway, I think it's time to sign out and go have some fun the rest of the day. And we're going to head up to head up to Hayes tomorrow to go race. And that's their championship night too, I believe.
Yep. So got a little work to do on the car
and get that fixed up. So everybody, next Friday, pack the stands, everything else. Tune in live next Wednesday at 6 o'clock for the final rule package on the B mods and the payouts that we're going to have at Salt City coming up on the October 5th race, and go racing on Friday and get in October 5th, get that race, and then get that fair board meeting, get that contract signed, and Katie bar the door what we're going to do next.
Yep.
And,
should be fun.
Everything else too. So everybody have a great Saturday. Stay cool, stay hydrated, stay fun, have fun, get ready to go. Looks like it's college football day, NFL tomorrow, all kinds of good stuff there too. So everybody have a great Saturday. Have a great week. Tune in Wednesday, 6 o'clock, and we'll have some more updates and everything else going on at Salt City Racing. And everybody, thank you. Nick, any closing comments?
Let's go.
Everybody have a great weekend. We'll talk to you Wednesday night at 6 o'clock, and we're going to put up these fabulous sponsors that help keep everything going. And I will tell you, I'll throw that last thing in there, sponsors. We will be doing a lot more sponsorship stuff going in 2025 because we know we got a multi-year contract deal. So everybody hang tight on more sponsors. But again, these sponsors here have done a fantastic job of helping us through this year, and can't thank them enough for everything they've done to keep our racetrack alive and keep things moving. So thank these sponsors anytime you get a chance, and make it happen, everybody. Have a great weekend. And we'll talk to you Wednesday night at 6 o'clock.